Hello, it's Chris doing one of them creepy intros before the actual anime club starts. Just to tell you that at the end here, Dan, our amazing guest, has announced that he's working on a special project, but it's actually been revealed since the time of recording until now. So Saturday the 10th of January 2026 at the Quad Marketplace in Derby, he's announced Anime A Go-Go, which is a day of classic Japanese animation. There's Patlabor the movie, Macross plus movie edition, Memories, and Perfect Blue. And if you're in the area, give it a watch, go attend. Dan's put on some amazing films with Porlock Press, and I wish him all the best, and I cannot stress how much it's one of them use it or lose it situations. So it's amazing bringing anime to everyone on the big screen, and I cannot support it enough. But anyway, on with the show. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Anime Club. Today is a very special episode because we have Phoebe joining me like normal. I'm Chris. I've got a very special guest, Dan. How you doing?
Hi guys. Yeah. Excellent. Thanks for having me on. And it's nice to be in my spare room and on this show in my spare room.
It's lovely to have you dialing in from your spare room with your very, as I said before, as we were getting ready, very, very stylish bookcase. I feel like we're talking to a proper professional.
No books of none of those are mine. just rent them. Rent them for things like this.
Just before we started recording there, you were just saying that all them books are philosophy and you actually wrote them all?
Yeah. I'd love to hear him pass it down, Joshi.
Yeah. All about hardcore subjects. Yeah.
Just
Like-
leave it at that.
Yeah. Too hardcore for you, Chris. You couldn't
Yeah, I know.
be able to handle. You wouldn't be able to handle the cant.
Sorry.
He's a philosopher, Immanuel Kant.
Too hot for you two.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, thanks for coming on. You get to talk about, it was your pick actually, Paranoia Agent. But
Yeah.
before we talk about that, what got you into anime? What started it all off?
Oh, so being 42 now, it's going to be that classic kind of manga entertainment era stuff coming out on VHS, going to like HMV, and
It's the foreign film section.
yeah,
Yeah.
stuff that you can't buy yourself when you're that age, and so probably ended up buying like something that's a bit tamer because you can buy it yourself when you're in college, and then seeing that the classic kind of manga entertainment sizzle reel with the kind of amazing kind of rock music, which at the time, I don't know why, but I just always thought, oh, manga have great music. I just didn't understand how licensing works. And years later, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about this for a while now. And yeah, it's obviously a band making cool music, and manga entertainment just licensed it. And I found out it's like Celtic Frost. Anyway, like that amazing sizzle reel was just, I still think it's just, I mean, big kind of nostalgia thing, but I think it's just incredible sort of adrenaline kind of insane 2 minutes of just questionable stuff. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, and then you kind of like you learn what all the big hitters were, and then you sort of But I guess at the time I was also skint, so anything that was like a series, I just didn't watch it. I couldn't afford it, so you know, it's just and I like getting the big hitters, like the sort of like Mount Rushmore of like classic anime. But yeah,
Is it mean if I ask you what's on your Mount Rushmore? So there's like four. It would be like your four big classic animes.
yeah. I mean, from that era, they're going to be pretty obvious, but it'll be like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and it won't be any sort of Ghibli because of the sort of manga entertainment. It's got to be from their roster, so it'll be probably like Pat Labor, and then probably like the Street Fighter 2 animated movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like when you're a teenager, it's going to be big. Street Fighter was massive, so yeah.
I remember pausing it at a very specific scene in that film. But yeah, like everyone did. It was like our what's that film called? Where she crosses her legs.
Basic Instinct.
That's it. Yeah.
There he is.
Different times.
Times. An animated version of Sharon Stone crossing her legs.
But yeah, what made you pick Paranoia Agent?
So yeah, obviously big fan of Con. So I was thinking of something that you guys haven't done already, and then I guess sadly there's not a great amount to choose from with him. Has he been passing away probably about my age, and yeah, I just thought I've actually seen Paranoia Agent, but like years ago, and I think we were saying earlier that even at the time I couldn't explain to somebody else what was going on in it. So I thought, yeah, quite like to watch that again and try and work out what the hell's happening. So yeah,
which gave me a sense of relief because I actually begged Kris earlier. I was like, please don't ask me to describe what it was about because I'm not entirely sure I have figured it out yet. So when you say that, I'm like, oh, it's not just me.
Yeah, so I don't think you get a full idea of what it's about from the first 3 episodes. It kind of throws a lot at you, but it leads nicely into me saying, so what is it about? To Dan.
So even when I was rewatching these first 3 a couple of days ago, I think I consciously went down the route of just making a couple of notes, and they were very much like, this is what it makes me think of, rather than like, this is what it's about, because I'm not a critic, and I would just end up with like egg on my face if I was trying to like stunt out and like try and explain it to somebody. Yeah, it just wouldn't work, and I would have no confidence saying it. So. But yeah, I've got ideas on what it makes me think of, like some of the themes and stuff. But
yeah, that's fine. I mean, I can have a go if you want, and then we can go into what it makes you think of after, if you want.
Well, I suppose it seems to be a big thing about like just the state of society. It always seems to keep coming back to like a society that's probably like overburdened and also kind of repressed in ways and overstimulated, and obviously in a lot of his feature films he's always seemed to be quite into like blurring of like dreams, reality, fantasy, and what like sort of living in what was the early internet age kind of has the potential to sort of exacerbate all of that and drive people mad. I don't know, but it seems to be a lot of that swirling around. But
Yeah, and he does a lot of the So, if I was going to try and badly describe what this is about, it's really and I think this is true of a lot of his work. It's actually quite a simple, basically there's always like a really simple mystery at the heart of everything he does. So in this, there have been a series of attacks by a character in rollerblades with a gold back called Little Slugger, and each episode focuses on someone who has been attacked or like a different piece of the puzzle. But then swirling around that, you always have like these themes around perception and what's real, like what is and also like what's the perspective of the different characters, and what about their lives changes the way that they perceive their reality. And it's the same for like Tokyo Godfathers. You have the mystery is, where's the baby from? How do we get the baby back home? And it's also the same for Paprika. It's like, who's the person who's stolen the dream device? So you always have like this mystery, but then it's like the investigating of it is you play around with all these things. And I think there is a big thing in this about like mass delusion and fear, and the hysteria that crisis can provoke in crowds, and then how that, and I think that's like obviously where the title Paranoia, how that creates this sense of paranoia of like, who's the attacker, who's going to be the next victim, and it kind of builds the tension each episode as you get like another. Well, I think we're being given pieces of a puzzle that I do not understand yet. Like, I suspect there have been many clues, and so far I have missed everyone, because I genuinely don't know what's going on or who the killer is. But I know that there are some characters I really hope they don't get slugged. That's all I know.
I don't know, because they don't die when they get slugged by Little Slugger.
Yeah, but still, you don't want to see people that you like get slugged.
I might not like all of them. Some people deserve a little slug.
Little
it seems to be that as I going past episode 3, I honestly can't remember the instances where like Slugger kind of almost gets summoned, but like definitely in the first 3, it seems to be like when somebody goes beyond the point of all sort of rationality and kind of loses it, and they either want to escape, or they want to get revenge, or their emotions get too much and they kind of go off the edge, and then that seems to summon Lil Slugger to do his slugging. So
it almost feels like, like those old camp stories where you have like, there's like old McGinty in the woods who'll get you if you misbehave. There's an element of that kind of like urban mystery to Little Slugger as it progresses, especially and I felt like that, especially, is it episode 2 where you're in the high school and the kids are trying to are basically saying that like the weird kid in their class is Little Slugger. And you proper feel that kind of like urban campfire story kind of energy from it. But yeah, it's good. It's
It's weird that you used to kind of see it as them Little Slugger going after people was a bad thing, because I saw it was a good thing for everyone who was slugged. Not because I didn't like them or anything, that's just a little part of it. But it was like, in the first episode, there was a character designer who made the little teddy with a massive head. She was under a lot of stress, and she was trying to design a new character. And it seemed like when she was bopped on the head by Little Slugger, the kind of pressure went away for her. The second one, which was a schoolboy who was, the attack had happened since then, and they were like, oh, well, everyone thinks it's me because I rollerblade, I fit the description really well. I've been attacked, so it takes the suspicion off me. And the third one is about a nice way to put it, a woman sex worker.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Who was a secret sex worker. Our fiance didn't know that. and had two worlds where she was like a housewife during the day or an office worker, and the lives kept leeching into each other. Like the taxi driver she had seen as a client before, so they were like merging as one. She got bopped on the head by Lil Slugger, and that kind of went away a little bit. So I saw it was like a good thing.
Yeah, sometimes there's definitely like the character wants to escape and like get out of a situation, can't work out how to do it in a, without the aid of some mysterious inline skating. Yeah.
Exactly. It's kind of like if you had a big meeting at work or something, and if Little Slugger came along, bopped you on the head, you only woke up the next day, I don't have to do the meeting anymore. Worked out all right. Oh,
We've all been there.
exactly. But
Sorry, the dog's kicking it.
But I know we're both, me and Phoebe both commented on the opening, because there's a very interesting opening song and then animation. What did you think of it?
Well, I think it was probably from seeing it in episode 2. I'm looking at the credits because I know like a little bit about the composer. It's that Suzumu Hirasawa. I think he did quite a bit of work with Con. So I wrote down, because the credits give you the name of what that track's called, and let me just. So it's called Dream Island Obsessional Park, and I just feel like that's quite nice. Kind of, you got this kind of, because I feel like, especially like during the end credits, you've got this kind of loads of people asleep on a bit of grass, and then the big mascot, is it Aromi, and a lot bigger than we normally see the mascot, and the mascot's the only one that's awake, and it's like makes me think of like the unconscious of everyone in Japan, and then this fictional character is kind of like the king of is in charge of this kind of, everyone's in the land of everyone's kind of dreaming or something. So I don't know, it's like makes me think of like things like collective unconscious and stuff, but yeah, I can't say a lot more about it, but I feel like it's there, and then the sort of.
Oh, sorry, I was just picking up on that thing about like the collective consciousness thing. This idea of like shared dreaming, shared delusion is something that feels like it's very like present in the themes of each episode, but also in Paprika, because that is about literally about what happens if we were to share our dreams and share our consciousness. It's that interesting interplay between like the waking world and how that connects us into our sleep. Sorry, I interrupted you. You were going to say, and then
I know. Yeah, it's like this idea that like this kind of mascot that seems to be made primarily to sell like merch and stuff is massively popular. The idea that or the need to like make another hit mascot, people's like real sort of livelihood depends on it, and it's like, so like this kind of fictional on some levels like mascot is more like culturally important than like a homeless person that you see in in one of the episodes that's kind of outside of, on the edge of society, like, so I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I feel like
there's like a kind of capitalism is king, and there's in having it awake and alert while everyone else is sleeping, that kind of says something about its position in like collective consciousness. And
I think so almost. yeah like the obsessional park bit of the track title is like this kind of overstimulated kind of island of people. Good. Definitely like sets the tone But yeah,
It does set the tone because there is some weird moments like the Moromi coming alive and talking to the creator as well. So
Yeah.
do you think that's all in her head?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, yes.
I'm sure she. I'm
Unless
slightly
you've got- unless
with.
this is how you tell us that your cuddly toys are talking to you. But also,
But yours not.
you have cuddly toys. I do like it when you do the voices.
But yeah, like everyone seems to be suffering some kind of psychosis where like someone changes, or there's like as I was saying, that Moromi comes alive, or the school kid when he talks about his other classmates saying that he's Lil Slugger, the faces change and the perception of him goes all wavy and horrible. So I don't know if that's about people's different, like, it switches to his perspective of what he thinks the outside world thinks of him. Same with Moromi, with right, I'm not sure how to say her name. Tsukiko?
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 Yeah.
No, there.
oh yeah,
The
Tsukiko
designer.
Saki.
Yes, that's it. Miss Saki.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was interesting how it switches there and plays with the perception where sometimes you don't know if it's from them or from you. So that could be in the mass hysteria dream thing.
I think so, and I also think that Satoshi Kon does this. Does this amazing thing with a lot of his work where he tries to force you into the mindset of his characters. And I think there's something about having that because the opening track is like an assault on the senses. I think I was saying before,
Yeah.
the first time I watched it, I couldn't really take in what was happening because it's a lot and very sudden, and the visuals are fast and dynamic, and you're kind of like almost dazed as the show starts. And you have like Eddie was freaking out. It was a whole thing. And you have that, and I think when he's playing with the perception of the animation itself, you then also have like this experience of what the characters are seeing and feeling just through the kind of like wavy, distorted perception of reality, and then you're like experiencing their journey at the same time that they are experiencing it in a way. It's like quite visceral.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did it remind you as well of Paprika as well? You know, the dream sequences there, because they were a bit mental as well.
They were super mental, and there are moments where you have no idea, like you're not sure when, because you know what's going to happen is that he's going to cut into another dream, but you don't know how it's going to happen, and it's different every time. And you, like, about halfway through the film, you're like watching the scene to see what part of the scene is going to distort. And there's almost like an experience when you're watching this, which is very similar, but maybe like less. I think because this is one of his first things, right? So this is him like testing out a lot of his techniques that you see in his later films, I feel.
Yeah.
And you see him testing out some of that, like, okay, how can I kind of set people on edge, or how can I draw them into the story and make them really watch by fucking with their perception of reality. Because it does have you like going, hang on a minute, what just happened? Like, now the dog's talking to the woman? What's going on? Yeah, it's great. I loved it.
Yeah, it definitely, it feels like, sort of like you say, like a tour through this sort of themes that he's really into and will kind of explore in more depth in his features. Yeah, it's like a bit of a, I wouldn't say like a greatest hits, but it's like, it definitely feels like a tour through these are the things that's kind of making him tick, and he wants to like
It's almost like watching his early sketchbook in a way of like, these are the things that have caught my attention, and I'm going to spend some time working this out for the next couple of films.
yeah.
So I was just trying to quietly open a drink there. Didn't work very quiet. Yeah. Do you think Little Slugger is meant to be a literal person in this? Do you think it's symbolic? Oh,
I
feel like
want it to be a little person, a real person.
Yeah.
I feel like having watched it all, but a long time ago, I should probably know this, but I don't. I'd like him to be. I'd like to learn a bit more about him. Honestly, can't remember if you do. But yeah, I'd like him to be a real figure, but maybe some of the details are maybe like superimposed onto him, or he's a real character. But yeah, honestly, can't remember at all.
that's fine, because I watched this on YouTube, and I could see the comments of people that had read it, and 9 times out of 10 people were saying, "Oh wow, because I'm rewatching this for the second time, it's weird how they give you all the answers in the first episode, even in the intro, and I'm desperately trying to look at things." And it's horrible. So I didn't know if it would be obvious to you because it would have been your second time watching it.
Yeah.
But from the first 3 episodes, who do you want to be Little Slugger? Do you want it to be like an obvious person, outsider, or someone from the first 3?
My honest thing was I thought it was going to be the illustrator from like the get-go, because I was like, well, clearly she's insane. She's talking to her own creation. Like, if that doesn't say psychosis, I don't know what does. But again, doesn't make sense because she gets attacked, right? So it can't be her.
What about you, Dan?
But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's somebody that we haven't really met yet. But I'm not trying to like give you. I'm not trying to like drop clues because I genuinely can't remember. But yeah. I feel like,
as well as watching the opening sequence carefully, I'm now watching you carefully to see if you give us any clues.
Scratch my nose a bit.
It's the guy who touches his nose in episode 6.
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be the slimy journalist, just because I don't like him.
Yeah.
It can't be, because he's way too...
Oh, no, it can't. Or I kind of want it to be a mass hysteria thing, where it's just a bunch of people being hit on the head, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that sounds right. It was a guy with a bent bat and a golden pair of skates."
Yeah. It's like that thing.
I was gonna say, if you saw someone go around on golden skates, you would recognize them straight away. It's not a common thing.
Yeah, it's not. Dude, what you mean, Gold Skates Steve? Yeah, everyone knows him.
The one with the bat.
Yeah. Loves playing baseball. Can't stop him from skating down to the baseball park.
Just like the blood on his bat.
I like to look at the name and imagine that the apostrophe is not there, and it's like Lil Slugger or something. But
Lil Slugger, yeah. I kind of love that. She could, with a name like that, she could only become one thing. Yeah. I quite like the idea of him being like a kind of mass delusion. That it's like that thing that they do in. So whenever there's like a very notorious serial killer, what happens is the police get flooded with calls. People are convinced that their neighbor is the killer. And there's kind of like this peak. So sometimes what happens is you really I say they as if I know. I've heard it on a true crime podcast that people will release very specific information or withhold specific information so they can very easily weed out whether things are real or like part of the mass hysteria around something. And I quite like the idea of Lil Slugger being being like all of the hysteria around an actual crime, and actually only one person actually gets attacked by Lillian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, again, I can't remember where this goes, but like I feel like this sort of elderly, sort of homeless people that are almost predicting or commenting on the plot. I feel like, and they're obviously on the edge of, they don't seem to be infected by the kind of hysteria of like this sort of busy society. Like there must be. I wish I could remember if that develops, but it must do, because there's all the kind of chalk drawings on the floor, which I think that there's. I think the guy writes down someone's hospital room number and other stuff. Yeah, so I feel like there must be something to that.
And there was that old lady at the first attack, because the designer, the Baromi, she saw an old lady rummaging through some bins or something. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking it's the oldies, the inline skating oldies.
That's Lillian. Yeah.
Yeah, but then maybe they're the ones who figure out who it really is. It's rather than the like, because that again would be like very. That feels like a Tokyo Godfathers move, where it's like
You see, so it turns into
the
like
people on
Midsummer
the fringes
Murders.
are the ones who figure it out. Yeah. You know how sometimes in Midsummer Murders there's Lil Slugger with golden gates. If that was Midsummer Murders, I would be watching every week.
I would love that.
Yeah.
But
No, sorry.
no, sorry.
I was going to say good old Shonen Bat.
Yeah.
Which one of the characters from the first 3 episodes, because I haven't seen ahead as well, is your favourite? Because there's the start is the designer of Moromi, the second one is the schoolboy who thought he was being bullied, and the third one is the sex worker.
I mean, yeah. What do you think, Dan?
My favourite character to watch is the journalist, but I also think he's like shown us that he's definitely a terrible human being, but it's fun, and I feel like he's going to be quite important. And I just think he's great to watch, but he's a rotter.
He is a rotter and he is a creep, and I kind of hope he also has a come to Jesus moment, because that would feel like that would feel interesting to me. I really enjoyed the sex worker story. That's where I was starting to get like I could feel, because I think the first episode I was just confused.
Right.
The second episode I was like, okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this right now. Maybe I just need to suspend any questions that I have and just ride the weirdness out. And then in the third episode, I'd kind of like gone, okay, so we've accepted the weirdness and I'm now into the story and getting attached to characters, and I felt for her a lot. And also I was like, wait, because when she's listening to like the what's it called?
Voicemails.
Machine. Yeah, when she's listening to the voicemails and having a bit of like a kind of a mare with it.
The voicemail.
I to really feel for her.
That's the voicemails. Is like, I feel like Con always picks like good devices to kind of illustrate somebody kind of unraveling and like losing who they are, and I think that's just a really good, simple but like really good way of doing that, I think.
Yeah, it reminded
And
me.
a great way to like do the exposition without it just being spoon fed to you. Like it's a really lovely plot device. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a friend ringing her at first. do you know, and it's just like, oh, you're going to have to stop this kind of thing. And I was like, oh, it's either a mom or a friend or someone who's like very close to her. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of like the machinist kind of deal. Do you know when he leaves Hangman on the fridge?
Yeah. Because at first I thought it was like, oh, her husband's having an affair and that's why it's like she's having a hard time or something, and this is how she's found out, and then she's trying to like, I don't know, and then you kind of like clock it's like, oh no, it's she's the one who's trying to talk to herself.
Yeah. Also, I didn't realise that she was a couple with that bloke. I thought they were co-workers until he turned around and just dropped it. Oh, by the way, will you marry us? I was like, is that how it goes down? It's how easy it is.
Yeah. That came totally out of the blue for me. I didn't, like you were saying, like I didn't know whether there was a bit more that I should have picked up on, or whether it was actually just supposed to be completely random. Like, let's do this.
So, because she brung a box into his, it looked like an office, and I thought they were co-workers or like not very close co-workers, like acquaintances. I thought he was like, oh, can you just put the box over there? Oh, by the way, will you marry us? You didn't even put that much emotion into it. I was like, all right, something weird's going on here. No wonder she's a sex worker at night, just for a bit of crack. Literally.
And
She's so shame on you. Why do I feel like you were waiting to put just squeeze that in there?
Oh, that's what she said.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan, I totally forgot about the journalist where he gets slugged as well. So I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah, but I just feel like he's the character that I loved watching.
Because you've seen it. Because do you know when you remember a series and you only remember like the good bits, like if you recommend a show and you forget about the weird boy crush things and stuff like that. It's you just remember the mix. Yeah, so I wonder if he's got something to do with later on.
Yeah, again, yeah. I wish I could remember, but like I feel like he's gonna kind of thread all these things together. I think so. Yeah.
Good, but
I think there is something to him the way you think, oh, he's going to be because he's also like being a journalist. He feels naturally placed in the story to do that follow through of the thread. Yeah,
he's gonna tangle up
to everyone.
Yeah, and tangle up with the police detectives a few more times, and yeah. I imagine
desperate for a story so he can pay back his Did he run him over or something? He ran someone over, he put them in hospital, and he's got to pay the bill.
Yeah, I think so.
Sort of something like that. So I think that's why he's so desperate to get the biggest scoop. And this little slugger has a big story at the minute with all what everyone's talking about. So he's kind of like hanging around the hospital, being like, oh, they look like they've got a bat wound. I'll go and interview them, kind of thing. But he's a horrible person. Just going into some barely conscious man's room and being like, oh, so who hit you? What happened?
Yeah. Tell me about this traumatic event you've experienced really recently.
Yeah, in detail, please.
In detail. And then I'm going to go talk to a woman about her traumatic experience and look up her skirt under the table.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And also, as we were mentioning just before we started, about halfway through the first episode, he's in that internet cafe, and he barges some kids out of the way and does his internet business, and then gives them their little window back, and the kids are just checking out hardcore porn in an internet cafe, and they're they look like they're about 10 years old, and he doesn't care. He's like, here's your
porn back.
That's
I've done Googling about my killers. Just there's your point.
Yeah.
And it's just like, society is poorly, isn't it? So, yeah,
Yeah.
even the kids.
To be fair, I think it's. I know it's a comedy.
To be fair,
how
Chris has looked up porn in many an internet cafe.
Well,
and it's done him no harm.
I'm a perfectly well-adjusted person, but no, it's like a commentary on people's reliance on technology and lowering morals, I'd say, but it kind of applies to today, I would say.
Yeah,
It's exactly the same now.
There's something there, and I think this is what makes it feel really current for me. Is that tug of technology as both a connector and something that isolates you from, like your collective conscience and consciousness. So it's like in this you see like technology being a point of stress for people, as well as something that is a point of discovery. So it's and I think it's not like I see it as like it's like morally ambiguous. It's like technology is a present force, and what feels important is how you access it, how you use it, and how reliant are you on it. There's like a kind of element of balance, because it's like you could go so far the other way that you're outsider to it, and that also comes with its own challenges.
Yeah, it feels like sort of like like desires and fears of just society, and then the sort of internet age kind of serving as almost like rocket fuel to kind of jumpstart the best and the worst of all of that, and kind of set kind of people way off balance, if you know what I mean. You kind of see that in like Perfect Blue and stuff like that. Yeah,
I haven't seen that yet. At the time of recording.
At the time of recording, we might have added it to the roster by then.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Episode 3 in Paranoia Agent, that does feel quite like a Perfect Blue and Paprika. It's like I feel like there's a lot of plot in episode 3. Like, there's almost like too much plot, but it's good. But I think it's very much like, okay, let's crack on and let's get some plot down. Yeah, whereas like
seems to kick up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. But like episode 2, it's like episode 2 is really kind of, if they stretched that out any longer, it would just be filler, because it's good, but that kind of suits its runtime, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, sometimes I don't think I'm smart enough to watch Satoshi Kon stuff, because it's like when I'm watching it, I kind of get it as an idea, but when you ask us to use examples and discuss why I think that, I'm like, just goes over my head sometimes.
I also think that's okay though, because I think it's like, so we can sit here and talk about the themes and get really thinky about it, but I think it's also it's really heavily reliant on emotional feel, and like these kind of like real gut punching pieces, like the whole like the overstimulating opening sequence. I don't think that's necessarily designed to make you analyze anything. It's designed to make you feel the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's okay to sit back and just go, do you know what? I don't have to get this. And I can just like get like I'll feel my way through it, rather than be like, I think I know what's going on here. That's because I have no idea what went on. It's like I have no idea what's happening half the time. But I can tell that the emotion of the thing is there.
What do you guys make of the at the end of every episode you get an old guy? Is he like standing on the moon or something? And he's talking some cryptic stuff that's kind of about the next episode. it's like the opposite of like the log lady intros in like Twin Peaks or something. But I was like, I definitely didn't like write any of that down, and I was just like, am I supposed to like decipher what this guy's on about? But I don't know. It's like really cryptic.
Yeah, there's something about. So for me, there are two places where it makes my head go. The first is like the idea of the moon being this like symbol of progress, because you have the whole space race and the kind of claiming of the moon being a backdrop to, I suppose, like a capitalist boom in terms of culture, like the moment that man first landed on the moon. Yeah. There's also part of me that just thinks this is like some weird anime stuff, because you get in like series like Hellsing, you have the Baron Harkonnen is like the voice of and it's the same if you like read the manga for some of these like series. You have at the end of the book, you'll have like a conversation with the mangaka, and the writer or some of the artists, but they'll often like insert these like odd characters as representations of themselves to like give you like a kind of breakdown of what's happening or what's to come. And I there's part of me that thinks like this is just like that kind of like practice or like convention, like manga convention, is that this is like a little bit of a breakdown from the author, being represented as this like old man on the moon. Yeah, on the moon.
So I didn't get any of that, only because, and I think we talked about it on the Detective Conan one. I don't watch
Chris never watches the end.
I never watched the ending because I don't want to know what happens in the next episode. I want to take out comes. I remember missing out on so many. At the end of an episode,
they have jokes. Did you ever watch any of the ending for Vending Machine? Because they've got jokes at the end of Vending Machine. You just missed all the jokes.
Did they?
I think so, yeah. I should remember missing like little skits.
Oh no! I've only seen that after seeing credits in like Marvel films, because people have told us and sat us down and said, "No, don't leave now." Or have you choose them afterwards? So yeah, I didn't catch any of.
Fair.
It's the actual content is so cryptic that there might be 10%, which is like, oh, that is something that's going to happen in the next episode, and then the rest is like, it's all like the cow jumped over the moon and sat in the shadows, whatever. It's just like, I don't know if I'm supposed to take this with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes where I'm like, is this something that might be lost in translation? Like, is this something that like a well-known touch point, like the cat and the fiddle or whatever it is?
Yeah,
cat and the fiddle. You know the
cat and the fiddle
nursery rhyme.
Had a little fiddle.
And like most people, I would say in England would go, oh, the cat and the fiddle with the cow that jumped over the moon. Like, are we missing part of like do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, is it like a lost in translation moment, or is it genuinely cryptic? I also Paranoia Agent is so dense. I do think that it probably is one that you would watch and then you could watch again and go, I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm like you could actually, it would hold up to like a more than one viewing. Like, just from this conversation alone, I've gone, I think I need to watch the first episode again.
Yeah, I think it would be worth a watch after you watch after the 12th episode, and then go back after a bit of time and be like, it's like the comments where they're like, it tells the answer from the intro, which I don't know if that's good or bad. I barely watch things twice now, because I don't have time mainly.
Yeah. I think it's, if you really enjoy a series, having that watchability, especially when it's only like 13 episodes long, is a mark of, I think, something that is like a proper classic, because it's like you can watch The Godfather over and over again. Or at least I can.
Never seen it.
Okay. Is there an anime version? Yes, Tokyo Godfathers. I already made you watch it. It's fine.
Are the homeless in The Godfather?
Yeah.
I saw you both give us dodgy looks, by the way, when I said, what?
What? That's fine.
But
I don't want before we sit you down.
Be fine. I love it when people show us things that I love.
Yeah.
But I know, Dad, you can't remember what happens after the 3 episodes. Are there any questions that you want to be answered that you probably don't remember, if they have been answered?
Yeah, I want to see more of these people that are writing big diagrams in chalk, and whether or not that's just kind of flavor or whether that has a more meaningful bolt onto like the Lil Slugger stuff. Because honestly, I can't remember, but I feel like it's going that. I don't think we'll get loads, even if we get any of it, but I want more of that. Yeah, that's like, I feel like that's part of the mystery, I think.
So I remember when we did another Satoshi Kon film, there was a quote said by him where he said, "What I wouldn't like to do directing like actual live action films because he can't control the background." But he said, when I do one of my films or series or whatever, everything that's on the screen is something that I want you to see. So there's got to be a reason for it, because it's got enough of a plot point where they show him like glimpses of him writing stuff on the floor, like he does a bird and a couple of numbers, and so it's got to be answered. If not, why? Why not? Please answer it.
Yeah. Satoshi.
Why?
Like, I think the second time we see a big kind of chalk diagram, so the first time someone's writing a hospital room number where the designer ends up in, and the second time we see a load of chalk kind of diagram, I can't quite remember, but I think they finish it off by writing the number 1, and I think that's a reference to what the popular kid at school is like, always like, I'm number 1, but I might be wrong on that, but I feel like, so they're just sort of, I don't know, like commenting or predicting strange things in the plot that are not all the same. So like
Kind of like cryptic clues.
Yeah, because writing, like, I think it's just a number 1, because that's totally different from writing like a room number or something. So I wanna. That's what makes me think I want to see more of this stuff, and I wish I could remember it.
There's also like, are they communicating with Little Slugger? Are they the ones watching and like being like, that way, slug over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's proper mystery stuff.
How about you?
What about you guys? What do you want to kind of see happen? You know, where do you want to see it go? Like,
right. So me personally, I want to know what the deal is with the 2 policemen, because one of them is good cop, one of them is bad cop. I want to know what happens with the slimy journalist if he gets his redemption arc. I want to know. Well, I'm not that bothered about the kid because he's a bit full of himself, and I don't like people like that. I want to know what happens with the designer, because she's a bit. I don't know. I don't think she's mental, but she is talking to a plushy doll. And
she's gone psychotic.
Yeah. And then weirdly, least of all, but I do want to find it out, who's Little Slugger? That's weird. I know it's the overarching story, what brings them all together, but I'm not as interested in them than the individuals.
Yeah, I'm more interested in why people are getting slugged. So it's like that's for me the question is because these people seem very disparate in a lot of ways. I think the journalist really is the only one who has a connection to someone because he's talked to other victims or does talk to other victims. But it's like what is connected, you know, what connects a sex worker and a bully, like a high school bully? There's like
They both think
like-
they're hard.
And obviously the sort of sex worker by day, she's like the school tutor of like
Yes.
a hotshot student. Yeah. So
yeah. And I can't work out if it's like a 5 degrees of separation situation where it's just pure coincidence that these people are connected, or if there's actually some sort of greater thread that pulls them together. So I think that's the thing that I'm watching for, is like actually what is and also do they ever come together in a kind of collective sense? Because often in Satoshi, like in his films, in both Paprika and in Tokyo Godfathers, which we've reviewed, there is a coming together of the cast towards the end. Like they have a moment of like genuine connection and like meaningful character development together. And I'm kind of curious about, is that going to happen here as well? And like, if so, how do they, like, who is it who's going to have that kind of like meaningful character development, and how will it play out? How will they kind of be drawn together by this?
Yeah, because I can't remember if we just talked about this before we started recording, but at the moment we're only seeing all these characters together during the end credits when they're all asleep on that like grassy hill, and then the mascot is in the middle, and the mascot's way bigger than it normally is, and it's the only one that's awake. I think that's the only time we're seeing all these characters that are not, I think at the moment they're not necessarily in the same environments and stuff.
Yeah, you see like one or two of, like you see that like maybe two of them will meet and then part ways, but you don't really see them like together for like any prolonged period of time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's loads of questions answered, which I think we'll probably need to watch through to answer them all.
I think probably.
So, are you guys gonna carry on and finish?
I am, yeah, for sure.
I think you've got to. I think this is Satoshi's only series, isn't it, besides these other films? And it's one of them things where you kind of have to pay attention. So, and I've started now, so I've got to finish it, really.
Yeah. I think it'll bug me if I don't.
Yeah. Are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to episode 1 and go again. Yeah. I feel like it's really nice feeling having some of it come back to me and be like familiar, but it's only coming back through a rewatch. Like it's bringing back stuff that was probably buried in my brain somewhere. But yeah.
And here's a question you have to ask yourself, which feels very fitting for the series: is are you remembering it, or are you learning it for the first time and it just feels familiar?
Yeah.
How can you tell what is real?
Yeah.
Are our brains full of holes? Yes.
Like Swiss cheese.
Like Swiss cheese.
I think that's all the questions I've got. Is there anything else you want to add to Paranoia Agent? Anything, observations or any questions?
We're starting to get, and I can't tell if this is just spooky flavour or going to mean something more, but we're starting to get more crows around squawking at people. But I don't know.
Yes.
Shorthand for like foreboding
Ominous.
all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crows normally bring, isn't it death
I think so.
or a slugger?
Right. Or a slug. Crows, famously best friends with bats.
And rollerblades.
I was really slow at getting that. I was like, oh. I was like, yes.
Yeah. There we go. See what I did there? 2 flying things. They're both black. They just, appear at Halloween.
This is Christmas. It's December.
You're right. No, I just really enjoyed it. I think this also is one that, even though it would have at the time have been aired probably late at night, week by week, this I think is a series that is probably best to be binged in one go.
Yeah.
Because if I had to split it up week by week, I would be completely lost.
Especially without the internet as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to Google, what does this mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Crows best friends.
I don't even know now. But yeah, I think that's us on Paranoia Agent, then. You want to say, because it's December and we're pre-recording pretty early, we have no idea what's happening on our channel at the minute. But do you have anything coming up, Dan?
At time of recording, I'm getting ready to celebrate my 10th anniversary of my film club that I run. So I tend to show a mixture of all different kinds of animation. So it tends to be a lot of anime and then stop motion stuff as well. So I'll be, as this comes out in December, I'll be kind of crawling back into my cave and sort of closing the door on the year. But then early next year, I'm working on some more classic anime screenings. Which so if people don't know, I'm based in Nottingham, and so I might be doing something around that area. So it feels quite exciting to say that I can't talk about it at the moment.
Super
just because it's not there.
Yeah,
it's not been announced yet. But
where can people keep an eye out for fun classic anime in knots?
My film club is called Porlock Press, and it's Porlock. It's just named after the village of Porlock, which I've never been to. Porlock Press, you can find that on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram probably the best place, and I'll hopefully towards probably around about the time that this comes out in December, there'll probably be some stuff out in the world about an event in January, and that'll be happening around the Midlands, so kind of Derby, Nottingham. So
nice. Excellent. So if you're in the area and you love anime, Porlock Press is the Instagram, Facebook account to follow. Yeah, that I've just got really hammered at home, because it is great. And also the other thing I love about your Instagram is you also have these amazing posters that you publish for each event, which are just
that's one of my favorite bits of putting on stuff. I've always kind of worked with really great artists and designers, and it usually involves me coming up with some woolly ideas and then commissioning some talented people to make something beautiful. But it's just something that I really like doing, and I've got a little folder at home which is my Porlock Press archive of all my old posters. So for this thing in January, it'll be a collaboration between Porlock Press and somebody else, and then we'll definitely have a beautiful poster by somebody. So
Excellent. So even if
Can't
you
wait to see
can't
that.
go to the event, go have a look at the Instagram because that's how I
Yeah.
vicariously get to enjoy stuff. Cool.
but yeah, thanks so much for inviting me on, guys. It's got me really excited to kind of get through the rest of Paranoia Agent. So fantastic.
Thanks very much for coming on.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll say bye. Don't be an anime. Be a top anime. Bye.